Right now at 10 KOAM and Fox 14 are back at full power. We'll tell you more about the KOAM More Power project.
Plus, the 79th annual Carver Day celebration underway at the George Washington Carver National Monument in Diamond. We'll take you there.
And Pitt State hosting their first surplus sale in nearly 3 years. The KOAM News at 10 starts right now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bella Line.
And I'm Chris Warner. We want to welcome all of you back to KOAM and Fox 14. It's been several weeks now, but we are back not only to full power, but we are actually broadcasting with more power than we've ever had before.
This is some video from the KOAM sky view of the project that has took shape because the project messed with our signal and even caused some of you to lose our signal completely. You may need to change something at home. For more newer TVs, you won't have anything to do. But if you have an older TV, you'll need to rescan your channels to be able to pick us up again. Thanks for sticking with us.
Officials with the Nevada Police Department have released information regarding the capture of a Kansas wanted fugitive. Information developed in an ongoing investigation of the Bourbon County, Kansas Sheriff's Office and the Bates County, Missouri Sheriff's Office that a wanted man was in the Nevada city limits. A SWAT unit served a search warrant at the home the fugitive was believed to be at, and the suspect was taken into custody. Suspect's name and charges are not being released at this time. We'll have more details as they become available at KOAMnewsnow.com.
The Kansas Department of Health and Environment says it's identified a presumptive positive case of monkeypox in the state. The KDHE says it was working with the Johnson County Health Department and did the testing in a KDHE laboratory. Officials say the patient is an adult resident who lives in Johnson County. The KDHE is working to identify all possible contacts the patient may have had, and it says the patient had recently traveled out of the state. Health officials say the risk of monkeypox spreading in Kansas remains low, and if you're experiencing symptoms, it's important to stay home and contact your doctor as soon as possible to avoid spreading the disease to others.
We're following some breaking news out of Oklahoma. An explosion at a natural gas facility in Oklahoma Saturday, forcing evacuations. The evacuation zone around the Medford One Oak facility is a 2-mile radius. Fortunately, all One Oak personnel are accounted for, and there have been no reports of injuries. Company is working with emergency responders in an effort to get the fire under control.
Not too bad today compared to last week. Nick Kelly joins us.
I know we needed the break, Bella and Chris, from the relentless July heat and humidity. And thanks to the drier air behind our cold front with a lot of cloud cover too, even though it's clearing up from 7th and Rangeline, that helped us out with temperatures. 72, finally more reasonable temperatures to start the morning out. And how about a high of 89? Not only for the first time in the wild, temperature is back near normal, but highs in the 80s. Can't remember the last time I ever said that, at least when any day comes to mind. Not seeing anything on the Skywatch Storm Tracker now. The last of the clouds have filtered out. We do have, thankfully, the upper level ridge back to our west and south. Only just, but it is enough to allow temperatures to continue their drop throughout the rest of the night. A lot of us are in the mid to upper 70s right now, and I don't think we're done dropping just yet. We'll drop back into the upper 60s, most of us around 67 to start the morning out, but with dry air still in place, more sunshine tomorrow, I think we'll have to go back into the lower 90s, but the humidity will stay low, Bella and Chris, and we'll see how the rest of the week's shaping up here in a few.
Sounds like a not too bad week. Thanks, Nick. Today marks the 79th Carver Day celebration at the George Washington Carver National Monument. The monument was the first one dedicated to an African American in our country's history. The celebration features tours of the facility, demonstrations of his life, along with live music and dancing.
Pictured everything happening as he was a kid running around in the woods, and me and my mother, we shedded a little tears because we are really on a historic plantation right now, and not a lot of children that are our age can say that or even perform and tell the story about George Washington Carver. Many people, like we said, know him as the Peanut Man, but he was much more.
George Washington Carver claimed to have found over 300 uses for the peanut.
Hey, Pittsburgh State University held their first surplus sale in nearly 3 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Surplus sale is held at the physical plant on campus. It's an opportunity for the university to take furniture, tools, and other extra items that the university doesn't need and sell them to the public. And sometimes professors and students find a little something extra to take home or to their classrooms.
A lot of teachers that come through, especially this year. We've had a lot of teachers looking for things for classrooms. So that was a big number of people that came through this time that I've heard comments about.
The items that are not sold at the sale will be donated to local Habitat for Humanities.
The TYP Nutrition and TYP Track Club are raising money for some special athletes. Several kids on the TYP Track Club have qualified for the Junior Olympics National Track Meet this summer in North Carolina. The fundraiser, featuring a car wash and food, is to help with the cost of travel and for the athletes that qualified.
So to say that they're top 6 out of everybody from Kansas City, Oklahoma region, all the way down towards Little Rock, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty special. And then people ask us where we are, where you guys from? Joplin. They go, oh, Joplin. I'm like, a little small town, but you know, we got, the talent is here. So, you know, the kids are proud, the parents are proud. So, you know, it's a huge deal for them.
To qualify for the meet, they had to place top 6 in an event at a regional meet that featured hundreds of other competitors.
Certainly an impressive take there.
Absolutely.
Well, today, Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced nearly $400 million of new humanitarian aid to Ukraine. Blinken spoke in Bali, Indonesia, following a meeting with G20 foreign ministers. The
Biden administration also says it will be sending an additional $400 million in military and aid to Ukraine. That's the 15th shipment since the war began, totaling more than $7 million of ammunition and equipment. CBS's Christina Ruffini is at the White House tonight with more.
Today, at the center of Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, rescue workers dug through a disassembled apartment building, searching through sheet metal for victims of what local authorities say was a Russian rocket strike. Although I am Russian by nationality, says this survivor, I would tear them apart.
It's pretty hard to be neutral when it comes to this aggression.
At a meeting of the G20 in Indonesia, Secretary of State Antony Blinken blasted China for its tacit support of Russia's war in Ukraine.
I don't think that China is, in fact, engaging in a way that suggests neutrality.
Leaders also tried to pressure Moscow into dropping its blockade of grain from Ukrainian ports, which is causing a global food shortage.
We'll see if Russia got the message. We'll see by its actions over the coming days.
Meanwhile, Ukraine's army is making use of the latest shipment of weapons from the U.S., including HMAR advanced rocket systems that can reach targets more than 40 miles away. President Zelensky says those rockets and heavy artillery shells are priority needs, as his army tries to hold back the Russian military in its 5th month of war.
President Zelensky also tweeted his thanks to President Biden, saying, "We appreciate the support. Let's get to victory together." Christina Ruffini, CBS News, the White House.
It's time now for us to honor one of our many 4 state heroes. Private First Class Frank Tallarico served in the Army during World War II. During his service, he received a Purple Heart. His hometown is Arma, Kansas, and we're proud to recognize Private Frank Tallarico, tonight's 4 state hero.
Coming up, authorities in Philadelphia are searching for 7 teenagers accused of beating a 73-year-old man to death with a traffic cone. Authorities in Philadelphia are searching for 7 teenagers accused of beating a 73-year-old man to death with a traffic cone last month.
The incident was caught on camera. Some of the teens can be seen laughing as they were attacking 73-year-old James Lambert just after 3 o'clock in the morning on June 14th. The video shows Lambert trying to walk away from the group as they follow him across the street and assault him. Lambert was taken to a local hospital where he died the following day. The Philadelphia Police Department is offering a $20,000 reward for information that leads to those responsible.
The running of the bulls kicked off this week in Spain. Saturday's bull run marked the third of 8 runs for the annual event. According to emergency services, at least 2 runners were gored in the leg, while 6 others were rushed to hospitals with severe injuries. Now, the runs last from 3 to 5 minutes and attract adrenaline seekers from all around the world.
More weekend summer travel flight problems continue to mess with America's vacation and business plans. Airline flight tracker FlightAware says that there were more than 5,000 flight delays Friday involving U.S. flights and more than 240 cancellations. 144 flights were canceled Saturday by 6:15 a.m. Between Monday and Thursday, airline delayed 19,000, or more than 18% of flights. Airlines also canceled 15% of their flights in order to make the remaining flights more reliable.
A discount airline holds off on a merger vote to allow consideration of another offer. Spirit Airlines pushed a scheduled Friday shareholder vote on a merger with Frontier Airlines back a week. It's the third vote delay on this issue. Spirit's merger with Frontier is favored by its board, but shareholders prefer an option to merge with JetBlue Airlines. JetBlue is offering Spirit shareholders $33.50 a share in cash for a $3.6 billion value. Frontier's bid is mostly stock and only $4.13 per share in cash.
The next wave in sustainable energy could come by recycling an already important renewable source. One energy research and analysis company says recycling solar panels may be needed to ease bottlenecks of solar panel supplies, as well as making solar energy more sustainable. Current solar panels are usually discarded in landfills or shredded, and few countries have materials for making them. Growing demand and shortages of materials for panels could make recycling solar panels a $2.7 billion business by 2030.
Well, today, Twitter is pushing back against Elon Musk's attempt to back out of his deal to buy the company.
You could call this the most expensive divorce in history. The $44 billion breakup between Elon Musk and Twitter appears to be headed for a courtroom brawl. CBS' Michael Gorge has the details.
After 3 months of drama, tweets, and trolling, Elon Musk says he wants out. The richest man on earth bailed on his $44 billion buyout of Twitter, and now the social media giant plans to sue to force him to honor the deal.
For Twitter, it's a nightmare scenario.
Dan Ives is managing director at Wedbush Securities. He says Twitter's stock dropping about 5% on Friday was just the beginning.
I think it's free fall in terms of the stock on Monday.
Musk's lawyers say he's backing out because Twitter hasn't been honest about the number of bots on the platform, something he's routinely publicly blasted the company for.
You've probably read about the question as to whether the number of fake and spam users on the system is less than 5%, as Twitter claims.
Musk sold about $8.5 billion worth of shares of his own company, Tesla, to fund the purchase.
It never made sense for Musk to buy Twitter. $44 billion was just lunacy in terms of the price tag.
Twitter could demand Musk pay a $1 billion breakup fee. Instead, the company seems set on a federal court fight to force him to buy.
It almost sounds like a messy divorce.
I think a messy divorce would ultimately be an improvement on this situation.
And today, Musk is attending a gathering of media and tech executives in Sun Valley, Idaho. Reuters reports he didn't bring up Twitter during his comments. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
A little later, we're introducing you to a pair of special additions to an Oklahoma zoo.
Plus, it is nice that the upper level ridge has retreated for now, but we'll see if it can play a role in the forecast for the week ahead when we come back. We've been keeping pretty quiet, thankfully, for today, but not only that, this was a good chance to get a break from the unrelenting July heat and humidity. You could see how we improved with the look at the 36-hour trend. Upper 90s for highs the other day. At least we mostly skirted away from hitting triple digits once again, but a nice drop finally into the lower 70s this morning and only topping out in the upper 80s this afternoon. We will take that for sure. Looking at the rest of the week, though, the week ahead, rather, we're going to wrap up the weekend on the quiet and mostly sunny note for your Sunday. Then I'm watching just slight rain chances with the front on Tuesday and potentially by Saturday. But the overall theme for the coming week will be varying levels of returning July heat. We'll break down that varying part here in a few. But outside, whether you're looking over indigo sky outside of Seneca, Missouri, or from 7th and Rangeline, we're looking quiet as we continue on through this late Saturday night. 77 and dropping a light north, they make that easterly breeze at 3 miles per hour. Still trying to pull in some drier air. Fortunately, they're low enough that we're not seeing much of a heat index outside, even though most of us are sitting mainly mid to upper 70s right now. This has been quite an improvement because not only did the clouds help to keep temperatures more close to where we should be for this time of the year today, so did the northeast breeze at 5 to 15, gusts sometimes near or over 20 miles per hour. That breeze has really lightened up, and with clearing skies up top still, we are set to drop back into the upper 60s as we go into tonight. So nice to see nothing across the entire four-state region. The last cold front to the south of us now. This is the next one, though, that I'm watching as we go into Tuesday of next week. But upstairs, though, it's nice to see the upper level ridge temporarily back to our west and southwest. And with that jet right on top of us, that's the other big reason why we had temperatures near normal. But that jet stream is going to be nudged a little bit toward the northeast tomorrow. So what does that mean for everybody as we go into Sunday? Well, fortunately, we're going to start out nice and mild with lows in the upper 60s. But with dry air in place and that upper level setup changing again, we'll quickly go back into the mid 80s by noon tomorrow, and we'll have to trend back into the lower 90s for afternoon highs tomorrow. At least the humidity stays rather low. 67 in the morning, 85 by noon. We'll have highs around Joplin topping out at 92, everyone topping out in the lower 90s for a quiet Sunday to wrap up the weekend. Quiet for Monday morning, but look at that south wind kicking back in. That means lows right around 70 and pushing highs back into the mid to upper 90s. But again, the humidity not really eager to ramp back in. So even though this upper ridge will push us close to the century mark again on Monday, I don't think the humidity will come along with it. But then the front, look at what it does on Tuesday. Pushes everything back to the southwest a little bit. It could give us a few storms, but mainly keeps us in the lower 90s. But as soon as that front clears out, look at what the upper level ridge wants to do throughout the course of the week ahead. Slowly build back in, but not really right on top of us. So that means I'm not seeing a big return of humidity as we go into late next week, but the July heat certainly is going to make a return. 92 tomorrow, 98 Monday, then back to 92 on Tuesday. Mid-90s Wednesday, then upper 90s near 100 by the end of the week. Fortunately, with the dry air in place, that means fast warm-ups throughout the day, but morning lows in the mainly upper 60s to lower 70s. That's going to give us a chance to get a break from each of those hot days coming up.
Absolutely. My main concern is my lake weekend ruined on Saturday.
Oh, no, it's just a slight thunderstorm chance. I wouldn't cancel those plans.
Okay, great. That's all I care about.
That's all that matters, then. Hopefully I did well there.
Yes.
We need the rain, but just not on the weekend.
Yeah.
Just bring it during the work week.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see if I can focus them all on Tuesday, the next time I get to an update, hopefully tomorrow.
That'd be great.
Thank you. Turning to sports, the Outlaws trying to snap a skid tonight.
Yeah, it would be great for them to get a win, Chris, before the All-Star game and a little break there. We have the details against St. Joe. Plus, Webb City 12U aims to claim a spot in the district championship game. Those highlights next. The Joplin Outlaws have dropped their last 3 games. 2 of those losses went to extra innings. They're back in action tonight for their final game before the Mink League All-Star game. Joplin on the road at St. Joe tonight. The Outlaws fall 7-2. Joe Riccio gets an RBI double and Matt Campbell goes 3 for 4 tonight. In Little League Baseball action, the Webb City 12U team is competing in the District 2 tournament this weekend. Webb City faces Joplin American today in the semifinals. Tied at 1 in the third, Brady Holland doubles into the gap in right. Brayton Robinson making his way from first scores on the play. That's the go-ahead run for Webb City. It's 2-1. Bottom half, Holland solid on the mound. 2 strikeouts here in the third. And then he makes the leaping grab for the third out. Webb City hangs on to win 3-1, earning a spot in the championship game on Monday. The Cardinals lost the series opener of a 4-game set to the Phillies on Friday. Game 2 today, 0-0 all the way through, but in the 9th, the Phillies score off a sac fly. They win it 1-0. Dakota Hudson pitches 6 scoreless innings for St. Louis. He gives up 2 hits and strikes out 4 batters. The Royals are coming off a walk-off win in the opener against the Guardians, looking for back-to-back wins here today, but it's not their day. They never really got going in this one. 23 hits for the Guardians in the game, and they blow out the Royals today, 13-1. 23-ranked Elena Rybakina won at Wimbledon this morning, making her the youngest woman at age 23 to win the title since 2011. She's also the second lowest ranked player to win since the rankings were introduced in 1975. After dropping the first set, Rybakina came back to beat Ons Jabeur 3-6, 6-2, 6-2. It's her first major title. That's a look at sports. We're right back after this.
Zookeepers in Oklahoma City are celebrating the birth of a rare Sumatran tiger twins.
Hey, their 11-year-old mother, Lola, gave birth on the early morning of July 2nd at the Oklahoma City Zoo. Now, Sumatran tigers are critically endangered with only 500 left living in the forests of their native Indonesia. Lola and her tiger cubs are going to remain out of public view until they're old enough to be vaccinated. Zoo's veterinarians are also waiting to conduct physical exams on the cubs to determine their gender. Until the cubs are ready to meet the public, zookeepers are promising that they're going to provide updates on their social media channels. So twins can be a somewhat rare event in general, but twin tigers, especially endangered ones, are a pretty special event.
Yeah. I wonder, since it's in Oklahoma, does this have anything to do with Tiger King? I can't be the only one that's raised a brow.
There's a possibility. You never know.
I've never watched it, so I would have no input on that.
Oh, okay.
See, I didn't really get into it either, but I remember all the social media hype about it.
That was everywhere.
Social media hype about the forecast, too.
We'll have to inch back upward on the thermometer just a bit tomorrow, but the humidity stays low. We'll have highs near 92.
All right, Danny, quick check in sports.
The Joplin Outlaws on a bit of a skid. They lose another one tonight, but hopefully the All-Star break, a few days off, will help get them back on track.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. That's our time. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Have a good night.